Refinement isn't loud. It's the woman across the room whose silver catches the light before anyone notices she walked in. And right now, if you're over 60 and you've started avoiding photographs because your part looks wider than it used to, I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes before you touch a brush or a blow dryer this morning. Because what I'm about to tell you might mean your hair was never thinning at all. It might mean you've been styling fine hair after 60 the wrong way for years, and no one ever sat you down and told you the truth. Look at two photographs of the exact same woman. Same silver, same density, same number of strands on her head. One version flattens everything, exposes the scalp, and quietly adds 10 years to her face without her ever realizing why. The other lifts, softens, and takes those same 10 years right back off. Same woman, same hair, completely different result. That's not a filter, that's not a salon miracle, that's technique, and technique is something every woman deserves to know. I've spent 32 years behind the chair styling women over 60, and in all that time, one sentence comes up more than any other. I think I'm going bald. My hair used to be so full, I don't recognize my own reflection anymore. Today, I want to tell you what I told my client Susan, who was convinced she was going bald until the morning I showed her the 5 mistakes she'd been making without knowing it every single day for years. Here's the truth I want you to really sit with. Your hair is very likely not thinner than it should be for your age. It is being styled in a way that exposes the scalp, flattens the root before you've even left the house, and hides volume you actually still have. I see these same 5 mistakes in nearly every woman who sits in my chair, whether she's 62 or 78. So today we're counting them down, from the smallest habit to the one mistake that decides whether any of the other 4 ever work at all. Stay for that last one, because if you skip it, you'll be back here in a month doing everything else right and still wondering why nothing has changed. If this helps you even a little this morning, consider joining the Refined After 60 family before we go further. There's a full series coming on fine and thinning hair after 60, and this is only the beginning of it. Mistake number 5, you're parting your hair in the exact same spot every single day. It sounds too small to matter, which is exactly why it does so much damage. Part your hair the same way for years, and you train that strip of scalp to stay permanently exposed, the way a path wears into grass from the same footsteps walked over and over. The hair on either side eventually learns to fall away from that line instead of toward it, and the gap widens a little more every year, whether you notice or not. On fine, silvering hair, that gap becomes a visible strip of scalp that makes thinning look 10 times worse than it actually is. I've had women walk into my salon utterly convinced they were experiencing serious hair loss, and when we examined the density across the whole head, the hair was there. It had simply been pushed away from one line, carved in by decades of habit. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Shift your part half an inch every few days. That's all it takes to let the hair lift from the root instead of collapsing into that same worn path, and it restores volume exactly where the eye goes first, right at the crown. Mistake number 4 is the one that ages a woman in a way she rarely sees coming, so stay with me. Never brush your hair straight back away from your face. When you pull fine hair after 60 tightly back into a bun or ponytail, you're stretching the scalp taut and exposing the entire hairline. Fine, mature hair needs softness around the face, not tension, and tension is exactly what a tight, straight back brush creates. Every pull puts strain on follicles already weakened by age and hormonal change, and over time, that strain makes the hairline look far more recessed than it truly is. I've watched this pattern for decades. Women who wore tight styles for years often show more visible thinning, specifically along the temples, in exactly the pattern tension creates, not necessarily the pattern hair loss creates. So instead, brush forward first toward the face before doing anything else. Then guide the hair back gently with your fingers, not a brush. Leave a few soft pieces loose around the face rather than slicking every strand into place. That one adjustment alone creates the illusion of real volume, softens the whole face, and costs you maybe 30 extra seconds. Mistake number 3, and this is the one that surprises even the women who think they already know everything about their hair. Stop brushing wet hair with a regular brush. Wet hair is fragile hair, full stop. And fine hair after 60 is even more vulnerable in that state than most women realize. Wet hair can stretch up to 50% beyond its resting length before it snaps. 50%. That is not gentle styling, that is measurable damage. Strand by strand, every single morning, you brush straight out of the shower. Over the years, that repeated stress becomes breakage, split ends, and a thinning that has nothing to do with your follicles and everything to do with how the hair is handled while wet. The fix is simple. Use a wide tooth comb and always start detangling from the ends, working upward as knots rose, never dragging a brush from root to tip through a tangle. Better still, detangle gently with your fingers while conditioner is still in the hair, since the slip reduces friction and breakage significantly. Make this one change, and within 2 weeks, you'll notice far less hair left behind on your brush and in the drain. We're halfway through, and mistake number 2 is the one almost nobody thinks to check. If this is landing for you, this would be a lovely moment to like this video so more women who need to hear it actually find it. Mistake number 2. Never point your blow dryer nozzle straight down at the scalp. When you dry fine hair after 60 with the airflow pointed downward, you are physically forcing the hair to lie flat as it dries, sealing in exactly the opposite of what you want. Once fine hair dries flat like that, there is essentially no root volume left to recover for the rest of the day, no matter what product you applied beforehand. Here's what actually works. Tilt your head forward toward the floor and dry the roots first, directing airflow upward and away from the scalp. If a full head tilt isn't comfortable, section your hair instead, lifting each piece away from the scalp as you dry underneath it with the nozzle angled up. The goal is always lift and separation at the root before you smooth anything else. Once the roots are dry with some texture standing up, then and only then move to smoothing the ends. This single change in direction can make your hair look nearly twice as full by the time you leave the house. And now the mistake that ties everything together, the one that decides whether the other 4 actually hold. Mistake number 1, stop applying your products from root to tip. This is the one that quietly undoes every other fix on this list if you get it wrong. When you apply mousse, serum, oil, or leave-in conditioner starting at the roots, you are adding weight exactly where you need the most lift and the least weight. Fine hair after 60 already carries limited natural body. Products sitting on the scalp makes the roots look greasy and flat within an hour, erasing every improvement you just made with the part, the brushing, and the blow dry technique. Here is the rule to remember. Products belong on the mid-lengths and ends only. Your roots should stay clean, dry, and product-free. The one exception is a dedicated root lifting spray or volumizing powder, formulated specifically to sit at the base without weighing it down, an entirely different category from your everyday serums. Everything else, every smoothing serum, every shine spray, stays away from the scalp entirely. Do this consistently, and your roots stay lifted and full of movement all day, while the ends stay smooth and healthy. Now, let me tell you something almost no one explains properly, and once you understand it, this entire countdown will make more sense. Your hair isn't necessarily thinner because you're losing more strands than before. Yes, hormonal changes after menopause reduce overall density for most women. Yes, aging follicles do tend to produce finer individual strands over time, but the real reason your hair looks so dramatically different than it did at 40 isn't primarily about strand count. It's about the diameter of each strand shrinking. Picture 100 pieces of thick rope laid side by side compared to 100 pieces of fine sewing thread laid the same way. Same number of pieces in both groups, but the rope takes up dramatically more visual space, more coverage, more presence. That is what's happening on your head as you age. You likely still have close to the same number of strands you had 20 years ago. Each one has simply grown finer in diameter, so collectively they cover less surface area. Even even though the count hasn't dropped nearly as much as it appears. That is exactly why every mistake on this list compounds the one before it. The same part increases visible scalp exposure on hair already finer in diameter. Brushing straight back strains those finer strands and exposes even more hairline. Rough handling of wet hair breaks strands that are already more fragile because of their reduced diameter. A downward pointed dryer eliminates the one form of volume fine hair is still capable of producing, and product on the roots destroys any remaining chance of lift at the base. Fixing one or two of these rarely shows a real difference because they were never separate problems. They were one problem wearing 5 different faces. Here's the part that should give you hope rather than dread. I've had women walk into my salon convinced they were going bald, sit down defeated before we'd even started, and within a single appointment discover they had plenty of hair all along. They were simply styling directly against it instead of with it. I've watched women cry, genuinely cry with relief, looking at themselves in the mirror after we did nothing more dramatic than move the part, lift the root, and clear the scalp of product. This transformation requires no expensive treatment, no supplement, no procedure. It requires understanding how mature, fine hair actually behaves and working with that reality instead of against it every single morning. Let me tell you about Margaret, because her story is honestly the reason I still love this work after 32 years. She came to see me about 6 months ago, completely devastated when she sat down in my chair. She had worn her hair pulled into a tight bun every single day for over 40 years, the same style since her 20s. Her hairline had visibly receded at the temples, her part had widened to nearly a full inch, and you could see her scalp clearly from almost any angle, even in ordinary indoor light. She told me nearly in tears before I had even touched her hair that she believed there was nothing left to try, that this was simply what happened to hair at her age, and she needed to accept it. I taught her these 5 rules, one at a time, right there in the chair. We softened her rigid part into a gentle diagonal line. She let go of the tight bun for a low, loose updo that pulled on nothing. We traded her paddle brush for a proper wide-tooth comb for wet detangling. She began drying upside down at the roots to build lift before ever touching the ends, and we moved every one of her smoothing products to the mid-lengths and ends only, leaving her roots entirely clean. 2 weeks later, she sent me photographs from home, fuller, thicker, genuinely healthier looking hair on the exact same head, with the exact same amount of hair she had started with 14 days earlier. Nothing had grown back in 2 weeks, of course. What had changed was entirely how it was being styled. She told me she had received more compliments on her hair in those 2 weeks than in the previous 10 years combined. That is the real power of these 5 habits working together rather than one chosen and abandoned on its own. But I owe you complete honesty on one point before you go. These rules only work if you stay with them. You cannot move your part once and expect the volume to last a lifetime. You cannot dry your hair upside down a single morning and undo 40 years of the opposite habit. These are daily practices, not one-time fixes, and your hair has been trained a very specific way for years, sometimes for decades. Give the retraining a little time and be genuinely patient with yourself while these new habits settle in, because the results are worth every bit of the adjustment. If your hair already feels a little fuller just from hearing these 5 shifts explained, imagine what it will look like once you actually live them over the coming weeks. Come back and tell me how it goes. I mean that. And tell me in the comments which number surprised you most, because I read every single one. Before you go, one more thing. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because there's a specific ingredient quietly aging fine hair after 60 faster than almost anything else on this list, and I'll be walking through it soon alongside more real transformations just like Margaret's. Refinement is not a destination. It is simply the daily decision to bring your most elegant self to the room.